Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Alex Vasquez, or AV, and today I wanted to go over this really simple poster design in Photoshop. I'm actually providing this project file for free in the description if you guys want to kind of go through and click through and look at all the layers and see the thought process behind creating this graphic. I really like it, in my opinion. It's simple. It's very simple. It actually didn't even take that long to make, but it's clean. It's effective. It gets the job done. It has some nice design principles in there that I think make this come together really well. And yeah, again, you can get this in the description, totally free. Click it, follow along, view it after, whatever you'd like. The only thing I'd say is this is for educational use only, so don't go and like copy the design or take all the assets and put them into your own design and things like that. This is just intended so you can kind of see the thought process and snoop around. I'll let you guys do with that information what you wish. But yeah, so let's get into this actual design. We have a smart object layer here, which is the color correction. We'll declick that for now. So really, the base of this design is one simple Trae Young image, obviously, and it's just this mask right here. So we can actually go and deselect so we can see what everything is. The skyline here is kind of a big part of the design as well. This is really just a outline of Atlanta using the pen tool, and then I went along and just added I'll do it for you here. I just added a solid color of white, and then clip that to the skyline, and there you go. You have that layout right there. Super basic. Our actual mask of Trae Young, we did this skin using just camera raw filter, I believe. May have been a little bit of topaz, actually. I can't really remember, but yeah, we added a threshold overlay here to get a little more contrast, and then we added a curves overlay, of course, to get a little more contrast as well, to brighten up the skin tones. And then we have our light source over here in this corner, and then we have the light that's on his skin. So it's pretty much just to give it a little more depth and dimension, just to show that he's more integrated into the environment. Now we did something here that you'll see a lot of artists do. I like to do it as well, where you kind of color the eyes. Trae Young, as you know, kind of embraces that villain role, some would say. So you would I wanted to kind of make those eyes red. It also matched with this jersey well, it matched with the background. I really liked it. So you can see the way we did that. All we did was we actually just used the pen tool to kind of trace around the eyes here, and then we just filled it with, we did each eye, and then we just filled it with a red layer, and then yeah, pretty basic. This is just the glow. So what we did was we took hue and saturation to each eye, and then we upped the saturation, changed the hue to make the regular eye color red, and then we added glow by just adding a basic color layer, and then kind of inverting this mask here using Command I, and kind of drawing some of that glow over. It's not very strong. It's not super bright. It's just intended to kind of give it a little more depth and dimension. Yeah, so there's the subject for you there. Now we can start looking at the text. The text is kind of where this really starts to come together. There's a little bit of this hierarchy here you can see with Trae Young being the big broad title, and then you have this mini text here. A lot of designers will use this, particularly in sports designs. I like to do this a lot. I like to just put in kind of paragraphs that help fill some space, and they're effective. Depending what the poster's for, it will say different things, obviously. This, honestly, I just copy and pasted from Wikipedia. On June 21st, 2018, Young was selected with the 5th overall pick, blah, blah, blah. Just kind of gives a little information to give a little more purpose to the poster, almost as if it's a cover to something, rather than just artwork. So, yeah, I like to add my text there. And then we have this light source in the corner here. It's always an additional layer to add. You can see even without it, it still looks good. It still looks fine. But once you add this light source, it kind of helps make him pop a little bit. And then of course you want to add those lighting to the subject as well. Like I said earlier, I kind of put some highlight roll off on his shoulders so that it integrated nicely, and it actually was super easy. All we did was, I'm pretty sure we just took a brush here, and then toggle to white here, and then I think put this on like soft light probably if I had to guess, and then just added some highlights there, and that's really it. Like it's really not much, but it does kind of go that extra layer. So yeah, always go that extra step to integrate some more light. In my opinion, I think it looks really good. If there's not natural lighting in the scene, then go ahead and add it yourself like I just did. So yeah, and it's a pretty simple design. There's really not much to break down. I think once you guys get the document, you can kind of go through and really look at everything that interests you. But you'll see, I guess the last thing we can talk about is the background, but you'll see that a lot of this is super basic and straightforward. It's kind of just little things that make this design come together. Here we have like the Hawks logo, for example. I always try to use team logos to create the background. You know, for this one, you could probably tell this was the Hawks logo. For a lot of them, you can't even tell it's the Hawks logo, but it's just kind of, it just works. And, you know, anytime you can add shapes into a background, it's really going to work. Here we just had a color fill, and I'm pretty sure this is just a camera raw filter to vignette it. So just vignette it using camera raw filter. It kind of gives it these darker edges, a little bit of contrast to the light that comes in, which I really like. So yeah, we kind of duplicated this. I believe this is the Hawks logo again, just duplicated. Yeah, just duplicated and put in a little, into a little, this corner right here. So yeah, we just added this Hawks logo here, kind of to add a little bit more dimension, and that kind of creates your background. We added this little rectangle here. I kind of like to add little borders here and there. I think it kind of pieces things together, especially when you add like this skyline and it kind of connects to it. In my opinion, it looks really good. You can see we have this rough edge here on the skyline. Doesn't matter. Doesn't even need to extend all the way across because, of course, our subject is just going to cover it. So, yeah, the final thing we can talk about, I guess, is these little pieces of text. I like to add border text a lot here. Atlanta Hawks here, Trae Young here. That's very easily done. I believe the font that I used here is, yeah, BD Megatoya. I use this font a lot. For my subtext, I love to use it. I'm pretty sure this is just Arial Black. Yeah, Arial Black. So very basic font. I think this even comes built in Photoshop. Super effective. I really like Arial Black. I like a lot of these fonts that are just, they get the job done. You can obviously adjust the kerning here. And yeah, super basic, super bold. And then, you know, with some thinner font type to fill out the paragraphs or subtext. Like you see these borders here. And I believe this is the same font here, actually. This is just, yeah, it's the same font. It's just I adjusted the kerning to spread it all the way out here. Super easy. So yeah, this is really it. Last thing I will say is for CC, our color correction, I just group everything together, duplicate it, and convert it into a smart object. And then I usually add, we can see what I did here. Pretty much what I'm usually adding just here is like grain, and I think grain really puts it together, kind of makes things feel natural. It kind of roughens out some of the smoother parts of the graphic. So, you know, we have depth here with this logo and things like that, but a lot of times it looks very smooth, it looks very artificial, so I like to add grain to kind of roughen everything out. And so I can't remember exactly what we did on this. I just know grain is here. That may be the only thing we did, to be honest. I don't know if we added any colors or colors here. Yeah, it doesn't even look like we did. So yeah, of course, if you wanted to, you could add a color lookup, whatever you want that you think would look better, think would look best. Maybe one of these like Kodak ones, and then, you know, adjusting the blend mode or whatever you wanted to do. Maybe you wanted a little bit more contrasty. You could do something like this. Maybe drop the opacity a little. And then you could do something like this as opposed to the original color. It's really up to you. This is about developing your style and developing what you want to do. So yeah, if you guys would like this PSD, please remember that it's in the description below. If you guys want to connect with me on Instagram, you can. Username is on the screen. There's also a link in the description. It's alex.v.asquez. Alex Vasquez, my first and last name. So yeah, if you guys would like to connect with me there, I'd appreciate it. Hit me up. I'd love to see some of the work you guys are putting out, and then you guys can see, whenever I put out work. So yeah, I really appreciate it. And again, I'll see you next time.